Welcome kindreds, it's Jessica, and this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be sharing some of the channels that I love. I'm going to make it a hashtag. It's going to be 13 channel shout out. So if you want to do that too, I've loved seeing some of the other recent hashtags. I know they often go around the community with don't watch me, watch, and share the love. There's been quite a few tags like that, but I've kind of created this because I want to do this a little bit more regularly. And usually when people do these videos, they say I'm going to share just small channels, so maybe channels with under 1,000 subscribers or something like that. And I was going to do that too, first of all, but then I was, there are not very many big channels really in the kind of tarot and witchcraft kind of space here on YouTube. There are a couple, but there's not many. Compared to other sectors of YouTube, the kind of tarot and witchy corner is quite small. So I was thinking, actually, no, I'm not going to put an upper limit on subscriber numbers or anything like that. And maybe it's a little bit because I'm a little bit salty when people don't shout me out. Because, I still think of myself as being a really small channel. But, compared to lots of other channels on YouTube, I appreciate obviously there are other channels that are just kind of starting, and it's really helpful to get a shout out in that way because it really makes a difference. So I've chosen 13 channels today, and I want to make this more of a regular thing as well. So I'm going to do it, I don't know how often I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it now and again and shout out some channels. I did shout out some channels as part of a different tag about, I think October, November last year. And I'm going to link all those channels that I've shouted out in the description box, but I'm not going to mention those ones again because I feel like I've kind of already said about those channels. And when I make these videos ongoing, I'm going to just kind of keep adding to that list of channels that I enjoy. So these are in no particular order. It was just a list. I just started writing down channels and then, just thinking yes, and then I was like, oh, and that one and that one. So please don't be offended if I don't shout you out this time. I might shout you out another time. I've stopped leaving comments on lots of channels lately just because I was finding it a bit overwhelming, and I tend to watch more on my TV now. So I thought this would be a really good way of kind of engaging with the community and stuff as well. So I'm hoping that the kind of description box is going to be a really good resource of cool places to go to watch certain channels, and things like that. So anyway, that's enough rambling. Let's go. The first channel that I'm going to shout out is Marlena Teresa. She is mainly a tarot channel. It's mostly tarot content, really good tarot content. She really knows her stuff regarding tarot. She's also just about to start doing the Deccan walk with tarot. So if you haven't heard of the Deccan walk before, basically when we think of the zodiac, there's 360 degrees of the zodiac. It's a circle. So yeah, there's 360 degrees. And there's 12 signs. So that means that each sign is 30 degrees, and then you can subdivide that sign down further into 10 degree segments, and those 10 degree segments are the decans. And magicians, astrologists have been working with that idea of the decans and the spirits of the decans for a really long time, and in more recent years people have been assigning tarot. I say more recent years, I think Arthur Waite did it. So at least 100 years have been assigning tarot to those different decans of the zodiac. And so the tarot Deccan walk is working through the tarot in association with those decans. So every roughly 10 days, obviously it's not exactly 10 days because there's 365 days in the year and there's 360 degrees in the tarot, but it's in the zodiac. But it is roughly every 10 days that you move on to the next sign. So it's kind of an opportunity to do a really deep dive with not all of the cards, because it only includes the minors between 2 and 10. Spread around, because obviously it's too many cards otherwise. But I think it's going to be really cool. I'm definitely in, and I'll put the link to Marlena's channel, and it can be one of her more recent videos where she's sharing about that Deccan walk. So like I said, loads of good stuff there as well already, but she's going to be sharing about that specifically over this next year now. So that's going to be really exciting to do as well. If you fancy jumping on board with that, go and check that out. So the second channel that I wanted to share is one that I think a lot of people are not aware of, because it's not a strictly it's not a witchy channel and it's not a tarot channel, but it's definitely witchy and divination adjacent. And that is Bridget's Grove. Oh, let me grab. So Bridget's Grove is a small family business which is owned by Molly and Mark, and Molly makes these gorgeous little goddess figurines which you will have seen in loads of my videos, and they pop up in lots of other people's videos too as well. They're just really lovely. She's just makes all different kinds of goddesses and stuff. But she also has a YouTube channel. I think lots of people don't know about it. Molly's like, I don't even know how she manages. She creates so much stuff. She's like makes workbooks, she makes like prompts for things. She has like a gorgeous Facebook group as well, which is really lovely way to interact with her. But she also has a channel, and she shares on there like mini rituals, kind of thoughts about different things. You know, it's very like goddess spirituality heavy, as you would expect. And it's lovely. So, you know, if that's up your street, then check out Molly. The third channel is Carrie's Mystical Musings. Now, Carrie's channel, I think I came across like last year. And again, it's like mostly divination stuff and quite a bit of tarot. But she also does charm casting, and like I've kind of dabbled in charm casting a little bit in the past, but I hadn't really done it very much. And since watching Carrie's channel, and she also did like a brilliant workshop for us over in the Circle of Kindreds, which is like my kind of Facebook group. It is, you know, that's free to join and everything. You can watch back her video there. She explained like how to cast charms and like different ways of using them with like, even with like tarot cards and stuff like that as well. I've really got into it, and I'm actually designing, let me grab. I didn't prepare very well for this, so I'm sliding all over the place. I'm boiling as well. Can I show you this? I'm kind of creating a goddess-centered charm set. So as I'm working with different goddesses with my membership, with the Moonwise Goddess membership, I'm basically like finding charms that resonate with that. And over the course of the year, I'm going to build like a goddess related charm casting set. So yeah, that's really exciting. Let me try and find somewhere to put that down. But basically that whole idea was inspired by Carrie and her videos. So if you're interested in like sort of slightly different forms of divination, then that is a really good channel to check out. So the next one is TC's Land, and it's Tracy, and this is quite a new channel. I think I've only been watching her for I think like 2 months. She left a comment on my videos. Maybe it might be longer than that actually. I think it was the end of last year, so it is a little bit longer than that. But she left some really nice comments on my videos, and I was like, oh, I wonder if she's got a channel, because she had like an avatar and everything. And she does, and she's so creative. She does all these like pictures of tarot cards where she's like really working deeply with the imagery of the cards and kind of trying to understand the meanings of the cards by making artwork. She also does like kind of journaling stuff and things like that as well. So yeah, it's like witchy and creativity and divination focus. So I would really recommend going and checking out her channel if you like those things. She hasn't got loads of videos yet because, like I say, it's a newer channel, but there's still quite a lot there. You know, there's definitely a bingeable amount of content there already. So go and check that out. So this fifth one is a bit different. It is not a witchy or tarot channel. But it is kind of like, again, it's kind of like adjacent to that, and that is Celtic Source. And Celtic Source is run by Gwilym Morris Bard, who is a Welsh guy who has studied. He used to be in a band. I think he probably technically is still in a band, but like he's getting on a bit now. You know, he's like in his mid-40s like me. And he has studied Celtic mythology in university, and he now runs like courses and stuff like that about Celtic mythology. So he isn't coming at it from an overtly pagan standpoint, but I think he is really. He definitely has that kind of like understanding of like Awen and that kind of Celtic imaginal world kind of stuff, and he shares lots of just good information, because there's so much crap information about Celtic mythology because, you know, it's become colonized basically and like appropriated. And so I think it's really helpful to go to someone who can he can read the text in the original language, and he can explain like some of the things about it, but he's always very careful to sort of say, this is my opinion, and not like this is fact, you know, which I really, really appreciate about him. So if you're interested in like Celtic mythology, then his channel, if you haven't found it already, is like a gold mine. So yeah, definitely check that one out. I've got to stop saying check them out. I'm not, that just sounds, if you would like to, of course, you know what to do. Just look in the description box and go and watch those channels. And also actually, while I'm talking about it, there's a reason why like the big channels are massive and the little channels are small, and it's not just because like the big channels make better content. Like sometimes that's true, like people who've got like hundreds, thousands or millions of subscribers make really great content, but a lot of the time it's because like YouTube is set up to keep people on YouTube because YouTube is funded by ads. So like the more people stay on YouTube, the more ads can be shown to them. So YouTube are like, the whole algorithm is geared towards keeping people on YouTube as long as possible. So if you want to see these smaller channels that aren't necessarily like gonna get people staying, like masses of people staying on YouTube for long periods of time, then do make sure you subscribe to them. But honestly, subscribing is not even enough now. Like there's loads of channels I'm subscribed to and I think, gosh, I haven't seen a video from that person for a while. And when I look, they've released like 3 or 4 videos, and it's just because I haven't been notified that they do it, because I haven't got like my notifications on. So I've actually turned my notifications back on for YouTube. I turned them off because I didn't want to have, like, I hate having all the things on my phone like pinging at me all the time. So what I've done is I've turned on notifications for the channels that I want to receive notifications when they've uploaded a video. And then I've actually turned notifications off on my phone. But what that means is when I come into YouTube, which I pretty much do every day, I'll still get the notifications of those channels. So if there is a channel that you think I don't want to miss their videos, you know, I do genuinely want to watch their videos as they come out, then I'd recommend doing that. That's my little kind of workaround for that whole situation. Okay, so back to the recommendations. This next one is a more astrology based channel, but she does also do a little bit of tarot, and that's Manuela over at Place of Stillness Astrology. She is like, there's just something about her whole like just vibe, and like Place of Stillness is so appropriate because it's like, huh. And she's got like a young child and everything, but she doesn't seem like frazzled or anything. It's just like, oh, you know, and everything is thoughtful and meaningful, and she doesn't just do the kind of generic, you know, Saturn in Pisces means this, you know, she's going deeper than that into the kind of story of that. And like, I don't know, she hasn't got hardly, like, she's a very small channel, and I just don't get it, because it's like, why are more people not watching this? Because like I watch all of her videos and they're really nourishing, you know, really good. So yeah, if you're interested in astrology, then 100% check out Manuela's channel. So sticking with the astrology vibe, although this channel does have other aspects as well, like tarot and journaling and just kind of a little bit of more kind of witchy content in general, is Verin Getchell. I've shouted Verin out a couple of times in the past, but not like explicitly in a video. I've like posted some of the videos in my community posts and things like that. So if you like my channel and the kind of focus on like journaling, tarot, witchery, that kind of thing, then you're very likely to like Verin's channel as well, because, you know, she does a lot of the same stuff. She's a bit younger than me and probably like she's cooler. So, you know, that might resonate for you as well, better for you. Yeah, I'd say she's probably like a little bit more raw. But I really like watching her videos because she has some really good like insight into things, and like her journals are really cool to look at as well. She does like lots of journaling stuff. So if you're into journaling, you should definitely be watching her channel if you're not already. So moving into a few more like kind of witchy channels now. The first one is April's Tarot and Witchery channel. So it is tarot and witchery, and there's quite a lot of really good like tarot content on there. But she also does like kind of more witchy focused content. I would say that like April's channel is really good for people who are like just starting out on their path, because she explains things like, she does quite a lot of like beginner content, not in a way that is like, oh, this is for beginners, it's no good for anybody else, but in the way that she explains things in an accessible manner that means that people can sort of take those ideas and things and really kind of connect with them. She makes a lot of videos and also like community posts which are helpful and things like that as well. So especially if you're kind of newer to the path and you're looking for kind of a more structured, I suppose that's a better way of explaining it, because like I know I make sometimes beginner content, I sometimes make intermediate content and stuff, and I'm a bit all over the place with it, but she seems much more like organized with her content, and she's just a really lovely person. Like she's living her path, you know, which is something that I really love to see in channels that I enjoy watching. Another person who is really living their path and is very like invested in the witchcraft, more specifically than tarot, though she does make some tarot content as well, is Joanna at Polish Folk Witch. She used to be called Nomqua here on YouTube, so you may have seen her from there. She is Polish and she makes videos kind of specifically about Polish witchcraft, but I would say that a lot of it is very relevant to anybody who's like pursuing a more folk witchcraft path. her like photography is just like sumptuous, and like the videos themselves are just like good quality videos. So I would, you know, if you fancy like a sort of sensory treat, then I would definitely recommend watching her videos. And there's also like a lot of really good information there as well. She also has like a Patreon and things where she teaches more specifically. So yeah, if you're more interested in like if you're interested in folk witchcraft, then that is a really good place to go. And sticking with the folk witchcraft theme, there is also Tegan, Cosmic Creepers Tube, she makes a lot of tarot videos actually, but she also, on her Instagram and other places, she is following a kind of British folk witchcraft path. Again, like this is not a small channel. I don't know how many, she's got quite a few subscribers, but you know, that's kind of because it's a really good channel and because she's talking about stuff that other people don't necessarily talk about so much, you know. So she's got a Patreon, so she does more like kind of structured teaching over on her Patreon, but she shares a lot of stuff on her channel as well. So yeah, if you're on following like a British folk path, then that is a really good channel to check out. I said check out again. Back to mostly tarot related content, I'd recommend Rochelle's channel, Amethyst Ascension. She's just, you know, my favorite thing about her channel is her voice. And I just love seeing when she shows like, you know, when we were doing those desk tour tags and people were like showing around the rooms and everything. She did one of those and it's just like, oh, it's so nice, like seeing around her room, but also just hearing her talk about the things in her room as well was just, oh, it was such a treat. And I always feel like that when I'm listening to her speak, it just is instantly like kind of soothing as well. So, you know, interesting content in itself, but also just the atmosphere of her channel is calming and soothing, and just her voice makes me feel reassured somehow. So yeah, if that sounds good, then you know what to do. Another channel that is just beautiful, and the creator is just beautiful, and I'm like, how would you always look so perfect? Is Emily's Witchcraft and Tarot. Now, I've been following Emily's channel for a long time. Again, this is not a small channel. I think she's got like 5,000 subs or something like that, maybe even more than that. She makes like mainly tarot content, but some witchy content stuff as well, and astrology as well. She shares quite a bit of astrology on her channel as well, and from a kind of thoughtful perspective, but she's not so much like teaching as she does do some like teaching videos, I suppose, but the ones I like the best are the ones where she's just kind of sharing about her own practice and how she is kind of like feeling into the energy of that particular time and things like that. So, and it's just, you know, it's just really aesthetic. So yeah, check out Emily's channel. Oh my god, I said it again. And last but not least is Astaria Zen. I never know exactly how to say it. It's Summer is the creator of the channel. I've been watching her channel for a long time now. She did have a little break from YouTube for a while where she took a few months off, and she doesn't make like super regular videos, but her videos are just really lovely. She's got a very like fae kind of focused practice, and she's also really creative, so she shares like kind of arty stuff as well. And yeah, and like tarot and community tags and things. It's just like kind of all around like just nice place to hang out. So yes, that is it. 13 channels shout out, 13 channel shout out. I don't even know what I'm going to call this hashtag, but whatever I do, I'll put it in the description so you can see if you would like to make this sort of thing as well. But I know there's other tags that are already like this already, and it's just that I kind of plan to do this ongoing in the future, and I can compile them all together into a nice playlist. So definitely drop in the comments any other channels and stuff that you recommend, because you know that's how we can find out about this stuff. We can kind of like undercut the algorithm and find the good hidden gems, you know. And like I said, they don't have to be small channels, they can be bigger channels as well, because like I said, I don't think there's that many big channels really in this kind of tarot and witchy space. Thank you so much for watching. Warmest blessings, and I will see you very soon.